Jared Fogle.
Jared, it was actually announced today that
he was fucking with an underage.
There was 14 different underage girls that there was some sort of inappropriate connection with that they found within his text messages. There was, I believe, some child pornography on his computers or somewhere in his home. He is now facing, I guess the plea deal is that he's facing 5 years in prison, as well as he has to pay 1.4 million in restitution to the 14 victims, 100,000 each, which I think is very little. 100,000 ain't shit.
Right.
I think that's unbelievably small. And his wife announced that she's leaving him, and Subway has officially severed their ties with Jared Fogle. I'll be honest. When I saw the first pictures of him when the FBI raid happened and he was standing outside his house and he looked perfectly calm and he didn't look scared, the first thing I thought was, okay, this other guy because I guess he had hired a guy.
Right, somebody that runs with him.
To run his foundation who turned out to be a child molester. And I thought, okay, it's not uncommon for someone to get caught and try to lessen their time by telling on someone else, especially someone bigger, because clearly a Jared is a much bigger prize for the FBI than some guy you've never heard of. Mm-hmm. So when I first saw these pictures, and based visually what I saw, I said, okay, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. This is probably, we're gonna hear from the FBI a couple of weeks later that charges are being dropped and he's gonna go back to Subway and, whatever. So I was actually shocked when I heard quite the opposite. Did you think that when they first busted him that he was gonna end up being guilty?
No, I kind of thought what you thought, maybe it was a peripheral, like somebody that worked with him or something, maybe they were the ones and they had to come to his crib because that dude worked there and there might have been some shit, but I didn't think necessarily that it was, this motherfucker. But at the same time, I don't put a lot of shit past, I don't take things on face value. So it's like, it's possible, I look at him again and I'm like, well, he could be a little child molesting motherfucker now that I look at his punk ass. Never really looked at him like that before because he's just a nigga on a Subway commercial, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the weird part about it all was that I guess he was having sex with underage female employees at Subway. He literally
at Subway,
like Subway employees, like underage Subway employees.
Because he's a Subway rock star. That's
right.
The
damn, motherfucker. You can't take that shit to Burger King or something. This is where your
they
checks
don't know
are
you
coming
there.
from. They know you there.
He's telling them bitches, I can get you free sub. I got the special card. I got that golden card.
Let me tell you, when you go to
free
prison,
subs for life, bitch.
Right,
What's up?
Now he's going to prison. He's gonna get some footlongs of his own. Let me
$5.
You gonna get some free footlongs.
Shit.
Because let me tell you, in prison, a child molester,
and they gonna be singing that shit too when they
Oh,
pound his ass like $5.
But this really goes to show, I feel, it really illustrates where we are as a society in terms of what a celebrity is. Because if you really think about it, I don't know how financially well off Jared is, but
he had a nice house to me.
His house looked nice.
Looked nice to me.
So I'm going to assume that Jared was a millionaire or a multimillionaire, right?
At the very,
probably a multimillionaire, because even though he wasn't doing commercials, his picture was all over Subway in the stores.
First of all, you can be in one TV commercial and possibly make $1 million.
Really? It's like that.
Commercials pay, especially with national commercials.
Yeah.
The level of pay is retarded. You might get $100,000 just to do the one commercial,
right?
And then your royalties on it, you getting checks in the mail, 60,000, 50,000,
right.
like motherfuckers living off of commercials.
Right.
And he had a campaign that went on for years.
For years, you're right. And like all the posters and everything in the stores.
He was the spokesman. Like that's
Subway, yeah.
He trust me, he got paper.
He got paper.
He got paper.
But if you really think about it, what did this man do to be a celebrity, to be celebrated?
Just went to Subway and lost some weight. He used Subway as a way to fucking shed his fat ass of all them pounds.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, why does somebody even get that fat a lot of times? Because psychologically, there's something they're trying to cover up. They might have emotional issues, and they use food as a comfort, a security blanket, and all that type of shit. So now, think about how insecure a person is like that.
Yeah.
So now, when he was fat, do you think he was getting bitches and shit like that? Of course not. And so since then, somehow he probably, through his years, he learned, hey, wait a minute, I'm a rock star at Subway. I could be getting mad Subway pussy. And then he probably started hitting up certain Subway people, and finally he went down the rung, and he found out, oh, it's the 14-year-olds that think I'm hot. All right, fuck it, I'll take what I can get. And he's a piece of shit for doing it. I mean, he needs to fucking, get hung with his own fucking penis, But
yeah,
that's another story.
It's interesting though how you really just got lucky. You lucked up into an incredible situation.
Just because somebody heard, like, what if nobody ever heard the story?
No, this is a lucky situation. There is nothing. This man did not build up. Like, it ain't like you were walking down the street and someone said, "Hey, do you want to join a rap group? It's called Brand Nubian. We got these two other guys. They're gonna write your rhymes, and you just got the right look.
Right.
Boom.
Right.
Okay, here we go. It's manufactured. It's the Backstreet Boys. Okay, gold album, 5 mics, whatever. Okay, cool." Like you built up and had to rap and write, and you weren't very good in the beginning, and you had
Learn
to
your
learn
shit.
and improve, and you finally got a record deal, and then you had to make. There's such a long like how many years did it take you by the time your first album came out? Seriously.
From the time I told myself that I wanted to make records,
Yeah.
I probably was like 13
And it
when
came
I
out.
wanted to.
Yeah.
I was about 17 when, I met like Daryl C from the Crash Crew and told me he was going to help me try to make a record. And I was 21 by the time it actually finally happened. So
8 years.
There we go.
It took you 8 years of working every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Saturday, Sunday, all that
Just constantly just living it, consumed by it every day. You
Yeah.
don't have to force me to do nothing. I'm doing it.
You're doing it 8 years. This guy basically just lost some weight. I don't know how he got discovered, but I'm sure it was not a long, intensive process. Someone looked at him and said,
I was in a local paper or some
Yeah.
shit like that. They did a little story on him.
Yeah, and
they got wind of it in the corporate offices. Hey, this could be good for
this could be good.
Yeah.
And
this could be a whole new angle.
yeah, what's interesting about Subway also is that it's not a public company; it's private. Unlike McDonald's and Burger King,
Right,
and all these
okay.
other, Taco Bell, whatever else, it's owned by Pepsi and so forth. Like Subway is just a completely private company. Yeah, and I believe they have more locations than McDonald's. They actually overtook McDonald's, so it was interesting because it came in a time where people were trying to get more healthy and.
Right.
That
And that was a great aspect because prior to that, you would think of somewhere like Subway as a place where you're going to gain weight.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
see? So they showed that.
Right,
that
because Subway
Jared,
sandwiches.
No, to the contrary, you can actually lose weight. Look at this fat motherfucker who lost all this weight. Look
right.
at all his pants. He was out there.
Yeah. And it's just interesting how you could get in such an unbelievably lucky situation that you're making millions of
Right.
dollars. And
then fuck it up because you
fuck
want
it up
some young girl pussy.
Yeah, and one day it all comes crashing down. He's going to go to prison for 5 years.
Good.
He's going to have to pay all these girls.
He's going to have to get raped in jail.
Yeah, and when he comes out, ain't nobody going to want to touch him. He has to register himself as a sex offender. That was the other thing.
First of all, why would you want to touch him? There's nobody else that would He's famous because of Subway. If Subway doesn't fuck with you, it's not like you can move over to Arby's or some shit because you already lost the weight off Subway. There's no other reason for anybody to have you as a spokesperson other than Subway.
But even not even a spokesperson, like I'm saying, like he can't go get a regular job anymore. Like when he gets out, you know what I mean? Because it's like
unless he changes it, you know what he's gonna have to do? He's gonna have to change his appearance. You know, he's gonna do it. He's gonna grow a beard and get fat again.
Get fat again. Right. Hey, motherfucker, you look familiar.
Yeah, you look. I can't quite place it.
But you look familiar. Nah, one of those faces. Yeah, I mean, he's fucked. The rest of his life is fucked. Because, like I said, like who's really gonna hire him? Who's
psychologically? Well, maybe these 14-year-old girls' life is fucked. So
100%.
Eye for an eye. Fuck for a fuck.
Yep.
Why would Dre put me in it?
Okay.
I mean, because if they start from where they start from, I was just a quiet girlfriend who got beat up and told to sit down and shut up.
Me personally, I do as well because, I mean, even to this day, none of his kids, none of his baby mamas, his mistresses, nobody has came up with HIV or nothing like that. So, I mean, just rationally thinking, some had to go on.